Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're gonna be answering your questions. I'm like, we're not reviewing shit today. We're just gonna talk a bunch about other stuff. We got a SmackDown preview, including the latest on the King and Queen of the Ring, including who's definitely gonna win the Queen of the Ring this year. We're going to talk a little bit about the whole point of WWE media scrums and should they be canceled or not.
Yeah.
What's the point with this shit? Also, we got the latest on SmackDown and Raw and how to watch them in the 2025. But first,
actually, it's end of 2024. It's end of 2024.
End of 2024, end of the new year. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But first, Larson, it's never too early to talk about WrestleMania 41, the WrestleMania 41, and the main event. Larson, what's the latest on this from?
We're about 11 months away from WrestleMania 41. It's going down in Las Vegas, April 19th to 20th, later than usual. So mark your calendars, everybody. It's Easter weekend, which means it's going to be a busy weekend.
If you see the Easter Bunny out there, you know that it's WrestleMania weekend.
You know what they should have? An Easter egg hunt scramble match.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
But it's a scramble match, and you love scramble matches.
I do love me some scramble matches, yeah.
Involve Easter and Easter egg hunt. It's a brilliant idea. Anyways, in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer laid out what the current plan apparently is for the Mania 41 main event. That's what Dave said. Quote, at this point, the show is scheduled to feature Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. Dwayne Johnson's idea is WWE title versus People's title. Those in WWE have noted that there is no guarantee Rhodes will be champion at that time. Can't really do title for title if only one person has a title, which is where the People's Belt comes in. But so many things can change over the course of a year. So it makes sense. I mean, so much of The Rock's focus during the build to Mania 41 was directly on Cody. And at points, it made Roman Reigns kind of feel like an afterthought.
During many points of that.
Yes, yeah. It really was up until like the last couple of weeks until WrestleMania that Roman was actually pushed to the fore.
Yeah.
So this makes sense. I guess if they want to have The Rock defend that People's title he has against the WWE title, fine. The whole thing here about there's no guarantee Cody will be champ at the time, I get it, because they might not have everything completely laid out creatively. At the same time, I understand Cody versus Rock. It's a marquee match, but if Cody doesn't have the championship, what does The Rock want? You know, I know. I mean, I guess yeah, he wants to stick it to Cody to a degree, but come on, that's the match where if the championship belt's involved, it adds gravitas.
Well, you know what? Okay, so time to fantasy book a little bit. Look, we're a wrestling podcast. It can't always just be reacting to news. Sometimes we could have some fun.
When are we going to be an NBA podcast? There's a lot of, we mentioned that the other day, and there's a lot of people saying, hey, you two should do NBA podcast.
One thing I've realized is that I enjoy the NBA, and wrestling sometimes can be a job, Larson.
Can you imagine us having to do an emergency podcast because Thanasis tore his Achilles?
Can we just be a Thanasis podcast, please?
Absolutely.
Can we fantasy book Thanasis at WrestleMania 41, please?
Let's do it. He beats Cody and The Rock.
Nah, man, he wins the Easter egg scramble.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Tears his Achilles doing it. Anyways. Yeah, Rock versus Cody seems kind of obvious. You know what I think would be awesome? I think it'd be great if Cody somehow, some way. You know, let me ask this first. What do you make of all like the hit pieces that have been coming out on The Rock as of late? Like Dave Meltzer's he's like, oh, a lot of people are saying The Rock is a big piece of shit. Basically, that's been sort of the thesis lately, and I kind of feel like, I don't know.
There was that article from The Wrap, and then there was some...
The Wrap, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then people were saying that he was late to WrestleMania, and I think WWE themselves, a representative for WWE is like, nah, he wasn't late to WrestleMania. I don't know.
Like, who's got beef against The Rock?
Apparently
is this Vin Diesel? Is this Vin Diesel saying these things?
Vin Diesel is one person that is noted to have a beef with The Rock.
This guy is peeing in water bottles because he wants to, keep things going and
Dude,
keep things on time.
You can't be peeing in water bottles. It takes a minute to go use an actual restroom and go back.
Tell that to these poor Amazon drivers out there, man.
I know they should not be peeing in the bottles either.
My dad used to do that,
Oh, really?
out on the mail route. Yeah. I'm like, Dad, that's disgusting. But he was the type, dude, he would like go as fast because he was a postman.
Yeah.
Because when you control the mail, you control information. Yeah, dude, he used to do the pee in the bottle thing. And I'm like, that's disgusting, old man. And he's like, hey, sometimes you ain't got time. You don't have, you can't, if you're doing like a suburban road, like, just the neighborhood stuff, it's not like in the pornos when you can just walk up and knock on a door and can I use your bathroom, ma'am? And then sex happens. It's not like that.
What kind of adult cinema are you watching where that's the setup?
Oh, the best kind, Larson. Anyways.
Most random kind.
you need to educate yourself a little bit more, my friend. Anyways, so let's get back on track. Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania. This new bad bloodline that's going down right now. Look, Jeffrey Nguyen, the Hall of Famer, says I peed in a bottle or two in my day. This new bad bloodline. I think it'd be the coolest thing in the world if Solo was like sort of secret, like, yeah, he's the head of the table, but he's actually working under the final boss.
Yeah.
The Rock is orchestrating all this kind of stuff.
I would not be surprised if that was actually the case, if that's the story they're doing, yes.
Be kind of interesting if there was some sort of shenanigans there that led to either the title match or somehow, some way they pried that title away from Cody and it was like gifted to The Rock and then Cody has to get it back at WrestleMania. The People's Championship, it's a cool idea. I like The Rock having his own title. But like that's useless. He doesn't defend it anywhere. It's not doing anything. It's just an eBay title, basically.
Yeah.
It's
a prop. It's a prop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a prop. Exactly.
It is.
It's like even Big Red and now the digital Big Blue. At least there's stakes behind that. We actually compete for it. Yeah. Which is more than Rock's ever done for his People's Championship.
That's correct.
Wasn't that gifted to him by like Muhammad Ali's family or something during the Hall of Fame thing?
Yeah.
He just sort of showed up to like another person's Hall of Fame ceremony and was like,
the focus was on him
and make it about The Rock.
Yeah.
The nerve.
Maybe now you're starting to understand why people have a problem with him, Steve.
No, man, I thought that was kind of a baller move, to be honest with you. Anyways.
Steve's all props to The Rock.
Props to The Rock, man.
Making the Hall of Fame ceremony all about himself and he's not being inducted.
Larson, if you and I ever get ourselves to the point where we're so popular we can just show up at a Legends Hall of Fame ceremony.
Never, yes.
So never. But if we ever could do that, I'm down. Let's do it.
You're making it all about Steve, huh?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Solid Monster's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. We show up, get a Going in Raw championship.
We bring our own Going in Raw championship and somehow convince someone to give it to us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be perfect. But yeah, no, dude, seriously, like.
No, if the scenario played out as you did it, as you just laid it out, where the bad bloodline, at the behest of The Rock, get that title off Cody, hand the title over to Rock, and then The Rock's defending People's Championship, WWE Championship against Cody, and Cody gets it back there. Cool.
Yeah.
And maybe that's when Roman Reigns, by that time, super popular babyface, he's already been turned on by Rock because he lost at WrestleMania. He can be one of the people that help Cody against bad bloodline with good bloodline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that further sets up Rock Roman at Mania 42.
You know what they could do? This is a bit out there, though, because like November is like, I don't know, what?
6 months away.
5 months. Well, I know, but it's 5 months out from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a long shot.
It would be. Oh, yeah, you're right. 5 months, yeah.
So, like, I don't know. You do the War Games match, and if the Rock's team wins that match, maybe they do maybe Cody gets to, or maybe he gets to challenge Cody at WrestleMania. But that's like super far out, so I don't know that they would.
Because you got the Rumble to contend with.
You still have the Rumble, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know how it's all going to play out. I thought it was kind of interesting, the report. And again, who knows how true it is, that one idea pitched, I guess, by the Rock's team was the Rock would have beat Roman and then simply vacated the title and went back to Hollywood in advance of like that WrestleMania match or something weird like that.
Oh, the original plan for 40, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Which was a real oddball situation. So I don't know how
sense.
much of that stuff is true. Or not.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Something else that didn't make a whole lot of sense is when WWE signed a deal for Raw to start broadcasting on Netflix beginning in 2025.
Yeah.
When their contract with the USA Network ended beginning of October 2024. So there was like 2 months. We were
We're
thinking
getting like a 2-month vacation.
yeah, Monday nights off.
Hey, see
No
us
shows
on
on Tuesday.
Check out Going in Raw on Thursdays, where we'll talk about AEW, and then the rest of the week we just got it off.
Yeah, pretty much. But that plan ain't going to happen, Steve. Unfortunately,
Bummer.
there's going to be Raws Monday night through the rest of the year. So USA Network tweeted yesterday, quote, starting in September and through the end of 2024, USA Network will serve as the exclusive linear home of WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, which returns September 13th. So 2 details here to touch on. First, why is Raw still going to be on USA Network through the end of the year? It's because WWE's Q2 financial call, which happened yesterday, I think, company announced that they had struck a deal to keep Raw on USA through the end of 2024, valued, I think, at around $25 million, before moving to Netflix in 2025. And in this week's newsletter, Meltzer explains why SmackDown is making the move to USA earlier than expected, saying the following, quote, SmackDown will also be moving from Fox to USA a few weeks early. The Fox contract expires at the end of September, but Fox was going to move several September episodes to FS1 due to college football, which is what is replacing SmackDown. So USA agreed to debut the show on September 13th, which is a Friday. Seattle has been talked about as the location for the first show. And of course, in kicking off a new station, the idea is to load up the show.
When that is September, okay. Final Boss could show up there. I could see that. That could be a situation.
Roman comes back as well. I mean, I assume.
That's only what 6 weeks ahead of, or 2 months ahead of War Games. It's about 2 months ahead of War Games. You could set it up there.
Absolutely.
Get this bad bloodline thing kicking off. Yeah, that's all cool. I'm looking forward to the Netflix era of Raw, simply because, like, to this day, man, I fumble around my USA app or my Xfinity app. I try to link it up to my TV, and like it works all right, but I prefer just to go boom boom, on the Netflix.
And that's
see
the
if
stinger, right? Dung dung.
Dum dum. Yeah. Choose my profile right there, and then load up, some Monday Night Raw, maybe even in 4K, because I'm pretty sure right now they broadcast in, like, I don't know, 360 or whatever it is, 640.
It's like basically dial-up, whatever the
it's
dial-up
dog
version.
shit. It looks like crap. Yeah.
It's very pixelated. Like, if there's a lot of visual information going on the screen, it's like,
dude, yeah,
can't handle it.
I know, it's
I
ridiculous.
don't know what the deal is. It's all compressed and pixelated. I don't know what the deal is.
It's our TVs, man, because like we have refresh rates of like 35 hertz, megahertz, whatever it is. Kilohertz. I think it's kilohertz.
Kilohertz, yes.
Yeah, hertz on the hertz to watch that shit is what it is.
Oh, that's what it is, huh? So yeah, I mean, I guess we got a deal so we can keep on watching Raw. New episodes of Raw.
Like LA Knight with his gum. That's a gift we need for our live streams.
Yes.
LA Knight choking on his gum.
Yes. So good on WWE, good on USA, keeping Raw there till the end of the year so we get stuff to talk about. Otherwise, if we don't do a Tuesday show, well, we have to do something on Tuesday. I don't know.
Oh, we do something with the Thanasis Pod.
Thanasis.
You know how all these NBA players like have their own podcast now? That's why it's like it'd be difficult to jump into that space because this is too much. But a ton of great podcasts, former players, current players, even they all got these, basically shoot podcasts. They're great.
Oh, they're fantastic.
It's all about talking shit about George Karl. And so like we would need a player to join us. So I'm thinking like maybe Halliburton. He's a big wrestling guy. That's a big connection right there.
That's
Plus, having him on is like having two guests because he has the soft voice and the deep voice. Have you seen that with Halliburton? He goes like, he talks like really soft like this, and then all of a sudden and people have pointed out it's like kind of weird.
That's interesting. Why don't we just have Hilton on our NBA podcast? He's played basketball in an NBA arena.
I mean, so have I.
Well,
I did. At Arco, one game. It was awesome. It was pretty great.
One game. I mean, just about anybody can do that.
You didn't.
It's because I wasn't asked. I was asked, I would have.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like Thanasis. Bring Thanasis on.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome. That'd be amazing.
Oh heck yeah, it would be.
I'd want to do it in person though. I like all those podcasts that are in person.
Yeah, no.
But like they got the 3-camera setup. That's what we need.
Professional deal. I know.
I know, it's awesome.
I know. It's pretty great.
It's great. We should do that, man. Anyway, Pat Beverly, nah. No, thank you. Yeah, he says Pat Beverly, but you got to subscribe to his podcast first.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Let's talk about this because I feel like could be a lengthy discussion here about these media scrums that WWE's been doing. You know, they pretty much since Triple H took over, it's been a constant. It's one of the things he introduced. Were these media scrums after premium live events, where he fields questions from wrestling journalists. Whether he answers them, that's something else.
Yeah, no, it is something else because he doesn't.
Yeah, well, a question of consequence. No, he doesn't answer.
Yeah, like for example, hey Triple H, how good does it feel to sell out another premium live event? Yeah, that's a question he'll answer.
Yeah, he'll answer that question. Hey,
hey, Triple H, have you read the lawsuit that your company is currently being served with allegations of horrific activity there? He ain't getting I positives. I deal with the positives.
That answer was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing answer.
It was.
Anyways, Backlash. They had a media scrum after that. And a journalist there, Lucas Charbiot, apologies, I got the name wrong, asked Triple H at said media scrum about Drew Gulak's status within WWE, because in the days and weeks before Backlash, there was some reports that he had been released by the company.
Yeah.
And so Lucas was recently interviewed by John Pollock and Brandon Thurston, and was asked if he was aware if WBPR was upset about that question that was asked. And Lucas responded, quote, "I knew because one of the PR, as soon as I said my question, Triple H said to me, 'What a dumb thing to do.' Yeah, right after I asked it, he looked at me and said, 'What a dumb thing to do.'" So, you have these media scrums.
Yeah.
You invite wrestling journalists to said media scrum.
Yeah.
With the idea, this is a transparent, again, the idea, in theory, this is supposed to be a transparent back and forth.
Whoa. Who said anything about a transparent back and forth? That's the leap in logic that I think you're missing right there, my friend.
Well, here's the idea of these media scrums is that WWE is opening up the curtain to a degree. Let me finish. This is the idea as maybe not. This is not what WWE wants them to be, but I think this is the image they want to project. This is an opportunity for wrestling journalists to ask questions of Triple H and wrestlers.
Okay.
In an attempt to be transparent.
No.
Hold on. That again, this is the image I think they want, but they want to control. WWE wants to still control the narrative. They want the image of transparency while preserving their right to maintain whatever narrative they want to push. They want to have it both ways.
I don't know why they do these things.
They serve no purpose as they want them to exist.
I said this to you off camera, and like I'm honestly trying to piece together. I don't know. Like the whole point of I feel like the whole point of these things is victory lap.
Absolutely. And
hey,
if that's what it is, like why bother with the illusion that you're going to have wrestling journalists there asking real questions? Have people from the PC make the trip out and act like reporters and ask questions. So that way, it's
okay.
there. It's up front.
Okay.
You're controlling the narrative in that
Listen,
because that's what they want.
No, you know what this is? Let me ask you something, because you've actually done this before. And I'm dropping the clown facade right now, but I'm curious to know what your thought is on this.
All right.
You've done press junkets before for movies.
I've done press junkets, and I've worked red carpets for movie premieres. Yeah.
Right. Like you've interviewed what's his name?
Robert Rutland.
Yeah, that's impressive. But
Yeah,
like the silly little guy, what's his name?
You got to be more specific.
Yeah, come on. The comedy that he was like, oh, you see the movie? And you're like,
Oh,
yeah.
Chris Kattan. Yeah, I talked
Chris
to Chris
Kattan. Yeah, right. So, goddamn, that's right. You got to interview Altman. Man, baller move. Look at that. If, like the point of those obviously is like what they're called. It's for press for the movie.
It's to promote the movie. Absolutely, yeah.
But then you're confronted, like, let me ask you this, though. Were you provided with any guidelines in terms of certain things are off limits?
Not that I recall.
Like if there's some sort of scandal that goes down just prior to like a movie and somebody still makes themselves available for these press junkets, is there an understanding amongst the press outlets? This is not going to go well.
I would suspect. I've never been in that situation. I didn't do a ton of them.
Yeah, sure.
Of the junkets or movie premieres. I would suspect, though, it'd be in such a situation where if there weren't guidelines put forth, unless you were one of the major entertainment news outlets, Entertainment Tonight, something like that, and you broach that subject, you potentially would not be invited back down the line.
And that's what these media scrums, that's the vibe they give off. More of a puff piece,
absolutely,
press junket type situation, as opposed to, hey, we're inviting a bunch of people from 60 Minutes down here. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know what's explicitly said or even inferred.
I don't either.
From these things, but clearly there needs to be some sort of guidance, because it kind of feels, what I said to you off camera was, it feels more like a 2K, like a WWE games type thing, like a 2K type thing, where it's like you bring out content creators, and this is not a knock on content creators, they make content. You bring out content creators, you interview some people, everybody has kind of a good time. We all kind of know the reason why you're there. But like somebody should get the, like, if that's the point of it, like essentially it makes it like glorified Coliseum home video extras, you know, where people get to talk about, hey, what's it like to win your first championship in WWE? Oh, it feels great. You know, hey, Triple H, what's it like to have the largest gate in the history of mankind? It feels great. You know,
let me interject here real quick. Zondo says Sean Ross Sapp always says there's never a preamble. They let you do whatever. So apparently there's not guidelines as far as questions.
But is it like a situation where, and yeah, like, okay, so they don't tell you what to do, what not to do. And I would think that at the press junkets that you used to do, if there was a situation, because those are handled by public relations firms, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're publicists. Yeah.
Like, you know, they would probably steer you in a certain way, or like, you know, there's that person sitting there with a clipboard, and then if like things go south, okay, we're going to end this now.
Yeah, they'll wrap it up. Yeah.
And like, you know, WWE is such a silly organization in the first place that they probably don't understand how to do that. You know, it's like, oh, we're not hiring a public relations firm to do this. We're just going to set up a bunch of shit in the back and do it. And then if Triple H doesn't like a question, he's just going to, you know, not answer it, basically. It's just standard WWE podunk type shit.
It is. It's, you know, and I wonder, here's the thing about Triple H. It kind of feels like he wants to be, in a lot of respects, the public face of the company.
No, he knows he is, yeah.
And he is. With that, whether he wants to acknowledge it or not, comes the responsibility, it comes those questions, the questions that he seemingly doesn't want to answer. Because he's the public face of the company, he's going to be asked those questions.
He's not savvy enough to answer them.
Not yet.
Because
yeah.
like,
and hopefully he's learning how to handle those situations better, because at least the last two instances I could think where he's asked a question of any consequence beyond what happens at the show, it's a fumble. He fumbles it. He fumbles the answer.
He's such a wrestler, you know,
yeah.
And it's like, I know he's corporate guy now and he's creative guy now, But like a lot of those questions, they're not. They're made for. And here, the bottom line. This is why I think the entire thing is kind of. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know that anybody should like. Is it good to press him on stuff? I suppose you're not going to get anything from him. You know, you're gonna get silliness from him, and at a post premium live event press junket, you're not really gonna get anything from him. So like.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's a reason not to ask the questions, though. You know what I mean? You pose the question because maybe you as a journalist feels that's your responsibility to ask those questions.
Yeah.
And you know, because for example, the Vince lawsuit. I believe Cody was asked about it the same scrum that Triple H was, and so that. There's people who feel, and I appreciate and respect those wrestling journalists who feels it's their responsibility to go in there and ask questions beyond things that happen in relation to the show that just happened, in relation to things that matter. We all enjoy pro wrestling. We all enjoy what we see on TV. It's entertainment. In the grand scheme of things, it's kind of trivial.
Yeah,
compared to a lot of real world stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that writers and journalists go to these media scrums and want questions answered because there's a lot of people who watch wrestling who want answers to these questions. At the same time, I understand your point of view of saying Triple H isn't going to give you the answers that would be satisfying to us. There's a way to approach his answers, though, that aren't as embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
That's the point where.
But okay, but here's the thing though, like not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but like, okay, so let's say he figures out how to answer these questions in a less embarrassing way.
Yeah.
You ain't getting no substance.
No, you're not. But you as a journalist are doing your job. Triple H deflects. That happens. And is it to a certain degree banging your head against the wall? Maybe, but if you keep asking those questions enough, maybe at some point. You'll start because a lot of wrestlers were asked, for example, about the Vince lawsuit, not media scrums, but elsewhere, and a lot of them gave very honest answers about that.
Yeah, but come on, it's all the same level of like, we were parsing. Hey, John Cena was totally honest with his question, and we killed him for it because of his point of view. It's like, oh, I still love my friends. Really? After he did that, you still love the guy?
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's like fucked up, but it's like, dude, at least he was honest about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers said they felt conflicted about it because.
Yeah, which is like the right. Yeah, it's like, of course you're gonna be.
And
CM Punk was brutally honest with his.
Yeah, he was. And if Triple H, and I think we talked about this during yesterday's show, if he said when asked a question about the Vince lawsuit, because also WWE is named in the lawsuit, and is one of the entities being sued in this lawsuit, said. Due to the ongoing legal proceedings, I can't answer questions about that right now, and leave it at that.
There's gonna be, I know, but it's like it's dude, it's the same thing. It's like two sides of the same coin. It's the nothing coin. You're gonna get nothing. Like there's nothing there.
I understand.
There's like a well orchestrated. Well, here, hold on. There's a well orchestrated public relations answer, and there's the embarrassing bullshit that he gave, and it's still nothing.
I know it's still
substance.
nothing, but that's because you're getting nothing doesn't mean journalists shouldn't ask the questions. I'm never going to criticize a journalist for going and asking somebody a question, but at a certain point, if you're a journalist, do you ask yourself, do I put in the resources to go to like a Fantasyland press conference where I'm going to get either a well orchestrated nothing or an embarrassing nothing. An embarrassing,
you know what I mean?
Kind of insulting nothing. Yeah, I know. I get,
right. Yeah.
Listen. I understand that. And that's a decision that everybody's got to make for themselves.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
But if they have these media scrums and it's all softball, nothing questions.
Useless.
Yeah. And then what's the point of the whole thing? This is going to be pushing their narrative. At least if someone's in there asking a question of consequence, then it puts them on their heels where they have to think, oh, okay. People are trying to hold the company accountable. And if they constantly put on these media scrums and at no point they're held accountable for anything, even if they give an answer or not. I mean, it's I appreciate when journalists are trying to keep them accountable.
If
Whether they get answers, they're not going to get answers. I understand that.
No, but you know what, dude? No, because you're right. You're right. That's the thing. You're right. If every single one of the people in attendance of these media scrums, and I'm not calling anybody out, y'all are your own people. You can do what you want to do. You get called out to one of these things. You want to ask a softball question, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, though, everybody had that same philosophy? Triple H shot down the Drew Gulak question by criticizing Fightful. Okay, the next person gets up. Say, can you specify which sites you deem credible and which ones you don't deem credible? Can you be specific about that? And he pushes on that one. And somebody else stands up and says, following up on that question, what do you consider credible and what do you not consider? If everybody had that, how long do you think those media scrums would still be?
That'd be the last one.
And
if that's the case, that's telling of
then so be it. Then fuck off with their media scrums.
That's telling of the company. They don't want transparency. They want the illusion.
Yeah,
the barest illusion of transparency, the facade of transparency.
I don't even know if they give a shit about that, though. I honestly don't.
If they didn't care about that, they wouldn't invite journalists, or if they did, they'd say these are the guidelines.
It's the arrogance of like inviting people knowing that they're going to get softball questions, and then unfortunately people kind of, I guess, they just sort of play it because like, yeah, we're here to get content, and that's what we're here to get. And
and that's fine. That's their jobs. Then that so be it. To get content. And they're doing what they think they need to do in that respect.
Who puts on a better media scrum, WWE or AEW?
I will say this, and I'm not trying to compare anybody. I will say this about Tony Khan. He gets defensive about a lot of stuff, but if someone asks him a question, like he'll be asked about Brawl Out or something, he's like, he always says, and maybe it's the tone can be, maybe, I don't know, condescending, but at least he always says, I appreciate you asked that question. I understand why you have to ask it, but I'm not going to comment.
It's AEW by a mile. Are you kidding me? Brawl Out? Are you kidding me? That was amazing.
So, even if
that shit would never have happened at the WWE one.
No. At least, I understand Tony Khan is notorious for not answering any question of consequence.
Yeah.
At least his tact in terms of not giving an answer.
Yeah.
Is I find it somewhat more palpable because he's like, oh, I understand why you have to ask that question. I appreciate you're asking that question. Like he gets it why the reporter is asking that question, whereas Triple H seems insulted that he's being asked that question.
He's never really shitty about things. Triple H is shitty about things.
Yeah. And for me, that's the difference,
Yeah.
Like Tony Khan seems to understand, I'm being asked these questions. Am I going to give an answer? Probably not. But I understand I'm going to be asked these questions, and I understand why it's happening, and I appreciate that people are asking those questions. I'm just not going to answer it. Where Triple H like, how dare you ask me that question?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the difference, isn't it? Yeah.
It's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Those AEW ones, they're so long. That dude just talks.
They're way too long.
That microphone hood smells like fucking coffee, too.
Oh, yeah.
Just deep with his coffee breath.
Yep.
Whenever I see him with that little cup, I'm like, God damn, it's probably his 16th cup of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, WWE, they're just pure bullshit, and they're just there for a victory lap, and there's never anything. It's always like awkwardness, like somebody boos Roman Reigns and he says, "Get out of here."
Yeah,
it's just awkwardness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For every moment like the Cody and Jay stuff, which is super off the cuff and fun and really shows their chemistry and their personalities. That's such a rarity.
If WWE's gonna, if the point of WWE scrums are bullshit entertainment value, then entertain them up. Have them unless they're like straight edge or something. Have them, throw down a couple shots before you go out there. They should all be Cody and Jay. They should all be that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are you doing it? Or like Bianca, Jade, and Naomi.
Yeah,
was also just a ton of fun. If you're not going to bring that energy, then don't even bother going out there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but the Zondo says Triple H even acts shitty about the puff piece questions. Oh wow, you're asking how it feels to sell out. Feels great, idiot.
It's like, hey,
The fuck you want from me, dude?
I know. It's like hey, let's do this. This is good. Continue stories. Showcase characters. But this is the last fucking thing I want to do. Seems to be his attitude.
And yet he comes out with such a swagger. Like,
I know.
oh yeah, everybody to give me your adulation, but you're all a bunch of marks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They're all very, very. It's like just even more silliness in the world of pro wrestling.
It is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Before we get to our SmackDown preview and answer Friendo questions, we got some super chats. We got some memberships here. Maggie says, "Whoopah, the like button." Thanks in advance. Happy you mentioned that, Maggie. Smash that like button, everybody. Want to get more than 200 likes by the time the show is over. Otherwise, I know it's Friday. We're playing basketball. The weekend is upon us. I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. I might get a little upset.
Oh, wow.
200 likes.
Dude, if you don't get 200 likes, Larson might give me another Stan Hansen-esque lariat out there on the basketball court.
I just stuck my arm out. You ran into me, and I picked the ball. That's what happened.
Holy shit. You're kayfabing up your arm, huh? You got that Lex Luger bionic elbow in there? Oh, look at that shit. Look at that big, strong boy. Oh, my favorite last week was when I tried to go down low and you tried to wall me. You went, and I heard the air come out of your, you went, when I hit you.
It wasn't
It
that
was. You
traumatic.
went,
Acting like I've been smoking 3 packs a day, man.
sometimes it feels like it out there.
Yeah. Jeffrey here gifted 5 subs. Thank you, Jeffrey, the Hall of Famer. Oh, shoot. Did I just lose it? Gosh darn it. All this scrolling and stuff. Nope, I got it still. I'm on
Mike Stevens?
Mike Stevens says Seattle debut episode around the time Danielson's contract ends.
Seattle debut episode.
So apparently Danielson's contract is supposed to. Oh, there's no talks about it. I mean, that's contract tampering.
Damn, dude. Why that should be in our thumbnail. Daniel Bryan to WWE.
Wild conjecture is what that is.
Massive yeah. Oh, that would never happen.
Mike Perry. Getting that Friendo Club set up. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Carson Gillis with Super Chat says, calling it triple threat match for the main event of Mania, Cody Roman versus Rock. Cody wins by stacking the bad actor Rock and Roman.
Wow. Carson Gillis, noted Bloodline hater. Yeah, he's not throwing his ones up. I say throw your ones up for Cody Rhodes, Larson.
It's not how it works, man.
No. Throw your ones up for AJ Styles.
He's a phenomenal one, but that's not throwing the ones up for him. I mean, Bloodline, so I'll throw my ones up for
Tongaloa. Not until we see that first match. He almost blew his debut spot.
I know. If he just took a nap under the ring when he was supposed to
he was
pull that ref
sleeping
out.
like me at 3 o'clock.
My goodness. Anyway, Steve, can you tell the good people out there about the Friendo Club setup, please, and thank you.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know what? I know we talk about getting so happy over those likes, but you'll be happier than an Amazon worker with a pee bottle if you get the Friendo Club setup. That's right. It's $5 a month, and it gets you access to bonus episodes. That's right. We do another weekly podcast every single week, Friendo Cast, where Larson and I talk about everything under the sun that is not pro wrestling. NBA, music, movies. This week, we remember our friend, the Enforcer, do a solid 35 minutes just talking about our old friend who we lost last year. Given that yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of his passing. So we get pretty open about our time with the Enforcer, and that's on Friendo Cast. And then we also have our Big Blue Predictions Challenge coming up, the Week of Champions, AEW's Double or Nothing and WWE's King and Queen of the Ring. It's a big 2-event extravaganza. The Big Blue Predictions Champion, our current champion, 3-time champion, John Hosey's putting up the Big Blue title at weekend of champions.
It's weekend, yeah. It's 2
like
consecutive days.
Well, that's going to be a tough weekend, man. We got to get our rest in the next 2 weekends because the following weekend, oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Going on. Wow.
It's Memorial Day weekend, so I'm sure there'll be barbecues and other stuff going on, Steve.
Oh, man, we're getting barbecues and pay-per-views. Hey, the King and Queen of the Ring, what's that, Saturday morning, I think?
Yeah. And
Wake up, have some McGriddles, and then Sunday, I think, evening is Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing, yeah.
And then we'll get that. We're taking that Monday off, right?
Oh, yeah, we can take the previous Friday off, too.
Ooh, look at that. Anyways, so yeah, it's a Friendo Club setup. 2 ways to get it. Click join right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson, or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson. Click on the Friendo Club setup. We have a couple other reward tiers there as well.
Yes.
$20 reward tier gets you the Friendo Club package. It is a comic book, a bunch of stickers, an 8x10 signed by me and Larson from 2019. We should probably update that picture. Both of us are older.
Why?
Because we're older. It's not an accurate representation of us
Maybe
anymore.
that's as close as we're going to get to our idealized version, Steve.
Tell you what, once I run out of these 8x10s, because I think we're down to like our last 10 or so.
Oh, all right.
We'll you can come over here and we'll take some Vittoria pictures. There you go. You flex for the people. So yeah, Friendo Club setup, $5 a month. Check it out. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let's go and answer some questions.
Well, you want to do SmackDown preview first so we don't forget?
Yeah, that'd probably be better actually. Yeah.
All right, it's a bunch of matches is what we're getting.
You know what, people? I think here's the thing. I'm gonna bring in Triple H for. Wait, do we have Triple H? No, we got Bret the Hitman Horse on this for SmackDown.
See, I was hoping Triple H come on and ask him about why he gives all these terrible, embarrassing.
He was
answers.
going to, but then he heard us talk about the bullshit
how
media.
How dare we
scrums.
criticize the game?
The game Triple H is not into that.
Well,
so one person who is completely transparent about maybe too many
fault.
things.
Yes, to a fault.
Bret the Hitman Horse. Here he is. Hello, hi. This is Bret the Hitman Horse.
Oh.
You know what I feel.
You're already laughing, Steve. It's obviously your laugh.
Hey, this is Bret the Hitman Horse.
No, it's Steve.
And here's what I have to say about media scrums. Yay or nay? Nay.
Thank you for your insight.
That's a horse joke right there.
Yeah, it is.
Would you like to know what I've been doing with horses lately?
Not at all, because I have a pretty good idea without you saying a word.
Right. Anyways, let's talk. Let's talk about SmackDown. Why don't we?
Right, we're in the midst of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. Hey, Bret, you won. Well, you're not Bret Hart. You're a Bret Hart impersonator.
I'm a Bret Hart impersonator, Bret the Hitman Horse.
Yeah, so
I'm
you
a
never won the
person.
King of the Ring tournament.
But look at me in that picture. I look exactly like him, And yeah, my namesake Bret Hart, he won King of the Ring
twice.
So did my namesake's brother Owen. Owen won it too.
Owen.
That's right.
So we got Randall Keith Orton versus AJ Styles, Angelo Dawkins and Tama Tonga, and then Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes, all in King of the Ring tournament action, first round matches.
Yeah, I got. I think I don't know who's going to win that first one. Randy Orton and AJ Styles. AJ Styles, heck of a wrestler. He got a 5-star match.
Yeah,
this weekend at Backlash.
Kind of surprising.
So I'm going to say he's going to continue that momentum. And get Randy Orton.
All right.
Randy Orton, the Apex Predator. Not going to.
And then we got 3 Queen of the Ring matches announced. Bianca Belair taking on Candice LeRae. Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven.
Jade Cargill's going to win the whole thing,
Yeah.
Hold on a second. No, I've got Steve here. Hey, dude, no, seriously. Jade Cargill, she's going to win that whole damn
She's going to win the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, as soon as I saw she's in this thing, she's going to win the whole damn
Win the whole thing. And then Naomi versus Nia Jax.
Naomi versus Nia Jax. Nia's probably going to win that.
Yeah, I suspect Nia's going to win that. Depending on
but
the
man,
SmackDown final will probably be Nia versus Jade. Or they could do Bianca versus Jade as the final.
Ooh, don't do that.
SmackDown side.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What's going on here? Wait a second. Bianca. Oh yeah, Bianca will easily dispatch a Candice. Do we have the brackets?
I was trying to find the brackets earlier, but I couldn't.
Donde está el brackets? Maggie, ¿cómo se dice brackets en español?
I don't know if they have. They announced the matches, but I don't know if they announced the bracket or revealed the bracket yet. Oh, no.
No bracket? They're just doing this willy-nilly?
No.
It's just the brackets are what they say they are. Maybe they'll actually show.
No transparency.
Zero. Yeah, no trans. Ask them that question at the scrum. So, yeah, Bianca moves on past Candice. Jade moves on past Piper.
And then Nia probably defeats Naomi.
When is the Shayna? What is it? Shayna?
They haven't announced. It's this
Zelina.
weekend at a house show.
You think Zelina's not going to beat Shayna? They might do a thing where Natalya interferes, though, because they're kind of in a feud on NXT.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's say Zelina moves on. They let last time's winner move on.
All right, because she's on the Raw side of the bracket.
Zelina gets beat by Nia, Jade, and Bianca.
I just said the Zelina's on the Raw side of the bracket, Steve.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
So it'd be the winner. It'd be Zelina versus Io, which Io would win.
Yeah, Io wins that. Who else is on the Raw side of the bracket?
It's Lyra versus Zoe Stark. So Lyra will win that. So it's probably going to be Io versus Lyra Valkyria.
So Io's going to come out on the Raw. Oh, that would make, Jade versus Io. That'd
make a lot of sense, yeah.
But man, at some point, Jade and Bianca, because Bianca easily takes care of Candice. They might do, okay, you know what? They could do Nia beating Bianca with shenanigans.
Could be, yeah.
They could do that, and then Nia versus Jade. Jade sort of redeems her team against Nia. I could see that.
Yeah, that's possible.
Because Nia's going to beat Naomi also. Oh, yeah, that's how it's going to go down.
Assuming that's how the brackets are laid out. We don't know, though, because they haven't released them yet.
Maggie says in Spanish, they call it a group for brackets. Oh, okay. So it's Grupo de Torneo. That's cool. Tournament group.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie. All right. You want to answer some questions now?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
All right. Doc Hensel asks, what is your favorite gimmick match currently in wrestling outside of Beat the Clock Challenge? Oh, it's a gauntlet match.
Scramble.
Easter egg hunt. Championship scramble.
Love that scramble, man. And it reminds me of breakfast.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm hungry. You need to eat some lunch.
I had a breakfast sandwich before this.
I've eaten a lot this morning. I'm still hungry.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
I had a bowl of
ripping
cereal.
Through those calories.
I am.
Your metabolism just destroying them.
Bowl of cereal. I found these little muffins at Target that got a lot of protein and fiber in them, so I had 2 of those.
Oh, wow.
And I had a piece of cinnamon raisin bread right before we started.
A piece of cinnamon raisin bread?
Yeah, just one slice.
Nice. A single slice.
I'm still hungry.
Yeah, man. You gonna eat me up on the basketball court today?
Yeah, I might take a bite out of you.
Oh, no. After a Stan Hansen lariat. Oh, speaking of which, John Allister Voice says, with Larson giving Steve a 7-star lariat recently while playing basketball, what receipt will Steve give to Larson the next game?
He already did give me a receipt after that. He paintbrushed me in the face.
A paintbrush? I barely whipped your nose, man.
This,
oh my god, that's
if I gave you a Stan Hansen lariat, you
gave me a lariat.
You
man.
basically pie faced.
Listen to the false equivalence. Wow, that's insane. That's crazy. I'm gonna give you the same receipt I give you every week. I'm going to hand you an L.
I thought you mean when I'm jumping and you push me.
That was a baby tap. I give you the baby taps, man. A 7-star lariat. Oh, man.
Jimmy Thomas, this is interesting questions. Asks, with how well Jack Perry's excursion to New Japan has paid off for him, do you think sending Sammy Guevara on one would do him good? And if not him, who?
Man, I was always rooting for Jack Perry. I was like, this guy's got nothing in the personality department. But then he goes and he does this shit. I'm like, okay, I see it. That's really cool. I've seen what Sammy Guevara has to offer, man. I don't know that guy, he's a really good wrestler in a wrestling company that has a lot of really good wrestlers. Yes. The thing about Sammy too that always, and this is my own pearl clutching, whenever he does I'm going to do something crazy, I swear it's always on the verge of just going really bad.
I know.
I know. So I don't really have much. I don't miss him on my television.
No.
And hell, maybe he can turn that around. That's a possibility, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Carson Gillis, the super chat says The Rock needs to stay away. He keep pushing out boring Disney movies like Moana, Game Plan, and Tooth Fairy. No final boss plays a Tooth Fairy.
Moana's
great.
That's an S-tier movie.
That is a really good movie.
It's a really awesome movie.
I don't think I've ever seen
up
Game
for the
Plan.
final boss right here. Keep him up for Cody. Good. Oh no, okay.
I never saw Game Plan or Tooth Fairy.
I don't watch that shit.
No.
I
Moana's
want to see the
great.
movie where he's peeing in a bottle.
Well, that's the behind the scenes featurette, Steve.
That's the EPK.
Yeah. They put that on the electronic press kit to use as B-roll for your junket interviews.
You're like, hey, Rock, I got a question for you. Hold on a second.
Hold on a second. What are you doing,
Got to
Rock?
put the people strudel into a bottle.
Holds the bottle up. You see this?
And
People's urine.
It's like deep brown.
Oh, it's like you gotta,
like
you gotta
Jeff-
hydrate there, Rock.
It's like Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty viscous. It's sticking to the side of the water bottle there. My goodness, Dwayne.
White Brownie's got it right. Steve's favorite final boss movie is Southland Tales. It's a ballsy movie, that.
This is a trash movie, is what it is.
Samuel Raja says, you guys going to revive the My GM series soon? You know, man, we've got a pretty strict schedule around here, and trying to finagle more time, I just don't know that we're able to do that. I'd like to, maybe. So here's the thing. I think in July, is it June or July, that we're like super dry on pay-per-views?
June only has Clash. No, there's 2 in June.
Okay, I think it's July that it's dry. Like August is a wealth of shit.
Yeah,
but
August
I think
and
June is
September are
just
pretty
Forbidden
packed.
Door. I think.
No, June has Clash at the Castle and Forbidden Door.
Okay.
And then
Man, I thought one of the
July
summer months
has
was
Money in the
super-
Bank, and I'm guessing there'll be an AEW one.
I think that's the one that only has Money in the Bank.
That could be.
Because I
could
think AEW sort of declaratively said these are the pay-per-views for this month.
That's right. There wasn't anything else in July. Yeah.
So I think like maybe in July we can get together and do like an extra stream.
Yeah, why not?
You know, from a business standpoint, like we should be, doing a couple of those.
Dirty Rich here with the sub. Thank you, Dirty Rich. Says, Larson, you said a 24-hour stream is off the books. What cash amount is needed for that to change your mind?
Let me ask you this: if Dirty Rich ponied up $1,000 per hour,
Per
we
hour?
would.
Yeah.
So Rich, we know it's somewhere between $1,000 and $24,000. We've got a window, my friend.
Wow, Carson Gillis shooting hard on the Rock. Says Rock has 0 Oscars because he is hot garbage.
That's
Not the type of movies he's been making, though.
And also, it's sort of like now you're venturing just into venomous territory, Carson.
Yeah.
At a certain point, we're not going to read them. We're going to take your money. We're not going to read them.
Yeah.
So remember that.
Hey, here's some good advice on if you want to, in terms of kayfabe, shoot on the bloodline.
Yeah.
The Rock, at one point, was the most highly paid actor in the world.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's doing something right.
Dirty Rich says, I'll start searching for change in the couch. Dirty Rich, if you could do a GoFundMe and get us $24,000.
That's just for me.
Oh, wow. So Larson needs the entire amount. Well, whatever you get, I get. So now it's
Exactly.
up to it's up to 48,000.
Yeah, it'd have to be 24 grand each.
All right. Sounds good. Let's see here. Blake Whitehouse says, with AEW having a strong lack of top heels for Swerve, do you see his title reign feeling similar to Aleister Black's NXT title run? Wow.
Well, I mean, even in AEW, runs the risk of coming off like Hangman's title run.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better.
And like there was good matches. It just there wasn't stories to match the quality of the matches. Like his matches against Danielson were good. His matches against Adam Cole.
Yeah, the
were
matches
good.
were good.
He had a great Texas Death match against Lance Archer. The stories weren't there really.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Zondo says, yeah, bro, I'm not into this stuff. He says, look, if things get really thin in terms of financially, then maybe we consider this. He says, could do a subathon, more subs equal more time for stream. We've seen that with Con Man, and God bless his heart, I couldn't do that.
Well, here's the thing. I couldn't do that without a very firm, manageable upper limit.
Yeah, right.
Like if we started out and said, all right, we're going to go 3 hours unless we get more subs, but the most we're going to do is 12 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be manageable, but to kind of keep it somewhat open-ended, no.
That's like the definition of hell right there.
Yeah, I can't keep streaming until we get 1,000 subs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's a lot, man. It's like, then the wives are like, when are you going to be done? I told you how this works.
This is my bedroom I'm sitting in,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I can't have a sleep stream in here.
I'd be, did I tell, man, I had the gnarliest dream.
Oh, yeah.
And it was more like this morning, not necessarily last night. I had a dream that like everything but like the front teeth up and down, everything back here and everything back here fell out.
Oh, yeah. You had the losing teeth dream. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Is there like a Freudian deal with that?
I think it's like
what that...
something about to do with your communication or something like that.
Really?
I used to have that dream. It was all my teeth, though.
Why you gotta one up me, dude?
I was trying to empathize with you. It's like, yes, I've been there too.
You're like, I had all my teeth.
All my teeth.
I didn't have any leftovers.
Nothing. No. My dream, I needed dentures.
Wow. Dang.
Ty Moore here asks, I asked last week which skills used in a vocation would translate well into wrestling. What about the opposite? What vocational skills would translate best to the world of wrestling?
You mean what wrestling skills would translate best?
No.
Oh. What was the original question?
What vocational... Oh, sorry, yes. What wrestling skills would translate best to a particular vocation?
Okay.
Yes, sorry, my bad.
I imagine being able to hit a pile driver could help you with one of them big oil rig jobs. Because you got to, finagle the big, pipeline thing.
Yeah.
And then get it into the thing.
So here in our area of California, we don't have trash men that come and like actually throw the trash into the truck. We have a truck with an arm and it picks up and dumps stuff. But I'm sure there are still places with garbage men who get out of the truck and actually have to pick up the garbage can and throw the contents into the truck. So
like a DVD.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can German suplex the garbage into the truck if you want to.
Yeah, man. Oh, wow. Maggie says the losing teeth thing in Latino culture, at least for Mexicans, it means someone's going to die. Everybody dies. About to kill Larson on the basketball court today.
Guess so. Better watch my back. Carson here.
Maybe I'm going to die on the basketball court today.
Carson here with Super Chat says, totally understand. Sorry, guys. I really respect you guys a lot. Always happy to give money to you.
Oh, man, we're just razzing you. But,
yeah,
we do try to keep it light around here, and I do appreciate him talking so much shit about movies. I'm down with that. That's cool. Let's see here. Joe the Meme Maker says, using current wrestlers.
Sounds
give me
like a
one
question.
No. This is it's kind of a, Joe, he likes the word association thing. So it's
that's
similar
good.
to
I like
that.
this.
Yeah. Who could have been a top star, maybe world champion in the following time periods using current wrestlers? And don't do like guys who would fill in sort of all the blank, because there are certain wrestlers now where it's like, oh, they'd be great in any era. Like Danielson, he could do anything in any era. Who could be a world champion in the Stardust Trio years? Ridge Holland. I feel like Ridge Holland probably. He looks like a Hackenschmidt.
Yeah.
I don't think they had to do anything too fancy back then.
No, I don't think so either.
Oh, Dark Dank Lucha says Cesaro. Wow.
Yeah. Preston Vance.
Oh, there you go. Oh, he looks like a Hackenschmidt. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
WWWF. So, like, I guess the Bruno days.
The Bruno era.
Yeah. Or the Backlund days.
This is Claudio.
I'm going to go with Chad Gable.
All right.
He's got kind of a Backlund vibe to him.
Yeah.
NWA TNA. So,
TNA.
the Asylum years.
Jeff Jarrett, of course.
Still Jeff Jarrett, yeah.
Pac. Imagine Pac in the X Division back then.
Oh, good answer. WWF Attitude Era.
Young Bucks.
I would say Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been wild in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Hulkamania in the 80s. Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
Braun's one of those guys that Vince would have seen in a gym, or Pat Patterson would have seen in a gym and been like, let me have you talk to Vince.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, you're going to main event
Exactly.
WrestleMania this year.
Like, oh, I've never wrestled before.
It doesn't matter.
If you do a tryout match with Bret Hart.
Yeah. Yeah. World class in Texas, the Von Erichs.
Oh, wow.
Lexus King.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that all of them? Or you got another one?
Nah, go ahead. There's a lot of them here.
Chris Stanton says, who would you have chosen for Team AEW at Double or Nothing?
Oh, wow.
If not for FTR Danielson and Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone with them. That's Team L. I'd go with look, man, there's certain guys that I would have put this team together. I'd say Swerve, you're doing double duty. You've got Team AEW. Also, Will Ospreay is on that team. You got to load up with the guys who are protected if you want to win. So Swerve, Ospreay, Mox, and somebody else who's protected.
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, great answer. Nobody's beating that team.
No, nobody's beating that team.
Nobody.
If they are, they're pitting Orange Cassidy. It'd been interesting if
says Chris Jericho's mega protected.
Oh my gosh! If they got Hangman to be involved in that.
Not exactly, but that guy he took a lot of.
I know, but
Swerve
former
anyways.
champion, so on and so
Yeah,
forth. But
yeah.
in terms of him being put in a position where he's there to represent AEW, but
Yeah, I like that.
he's passed with the Young Bucks being members of the elite. and
He
all.
would, yeah, but he might turn on your team. Yeah, Hangman now he's going to turn on your team.
Exactly, and that's what makes the most interesting story, Steve.
Oh no, that's a it's a liability. Carson Gillis was another super chat says, "Will Logan Paul become a world champion one day?"
I don't know. I suppose it's possible, but I don't know. I feel like he's good. His U.S. title reign's been all right.
I'd give him a 30% chance.
Yeah, I'd say 25. Alex Foster says, is Lance Archer and Alex Zane's team name Monster Sauce the best current tag team name in wrestling? Yeah, Alex Zane, he likes his Taco Bell.
So is it like the quesadilla cheese sauce?
I don't know if it's necessarily specific regarding the sauce.
Or is it like the Taco Bell? Is it like one of the versions of the hot sauce?
Maybe. The packets, yeah.
The little packets? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good name.
That's a good name. That's a good name. Monster Sauce, that's a good name.
It's really good. It's really good.
Let's see here. David says, considering that Bobby Lashley was pulled from the King of the Ring tournament, you think he's injured for real or are WWE saving him for Cody? Carmelo Hayes is one of the most underrated Twitter follows.
Yeah.
Because he posted up he quote tweeted the WWE, announcement of this, and he posted a picture of him finding Trick Williams after he attacked him. And he says, finding the OG in the locker room like
That's
this.
funny. That's funny.
Carmelo is a good Twitter follow, man.
When I heard that Lashley was pulled, and he could be legit injured, hope not. I thought that maybe they kind of revisited the brackets, and they were like, we really don't want Bobby Lashley losing to Tama Tonga even with interference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they probably want Tama Tonga to advance. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Nikyle asked, besides Chris Jericho, which of the best wrestling heels in pro wrestling history have been or is one of the worst wrestling baby faces ever? So who's a really good heel, but maybe not the best baby face?
A good heel, but not a good face. Right.
Considering how high a bar this wrestler sets as a heel, I don't find them terribly captivating, especially these days, as a good guy. And I'm talking about CM Punk.
Oh, wow.
He's way better as a heel.
He's
Way
really
better.
good as a heel. Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
He's an all right baby face for me, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I kind of feel like a lot of time when he's a baby face, maybe he's coming off that promo, that go nowhere promo on Raw. I feel like sometimes baby face, he's out there just kind of spinning his wheels.
Yeah. Well, he was best as anti-authority babyface, and there's no everybody loves the Authority now.
Especially Phil now these days, apparently.
Especially Phil, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's all the questions. You got any more juicy ones over there?
Well, let's see if I find at least one more. Here we go. We'll do this one from Kel Miko. Triple H puts the two of you in on-screen roles, one as a general manager on one brand, a manager on the other. Who takes which position? Do you want to be GM? Do you want to be manager?
I think you'd make a better GM, and I'd make a better manager.
I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, I think that's sort of our roles, our vibes here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to be a manager. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But who has the time? Anyways, that's going to do it. Oh, Maggie says, according to you guys, Seth Rollins, better bad guy than good guy.
Generally speaking, most wrestlers are more entertaining as bad guys.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just how it works out.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Larson's about to throw up. Hilton's over there in the wall begging me to wrap this up. Begging me, I tell you.
Let's hear him then. I can't hear him.
You can't hear that?
No.
Let's wrap it up. You couldn't hear that?
Covered your mouth, dude. I mean, come on. At least
no, I didn't want to show people all my teeth missing from my dream.
Put forward some measure of effort in terms of your subterfuge.
Good question here from W.S. Fletcher. Good word, subterfuge. Says, Larson, will you be a drinking GM?
No more, no less than usual.
You'd be the flask guy. You wouldn't declare it. You just do it. You'd get out the flask.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd have my beer and my cozy all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, now you need something harder than that, man. Till next time, we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.